Okay, today we're going to be talking about the IDE, the Integrated Development Environment that we're going to be using, and the one we'll be using is DrJava. It's a free download. We'll also be talking about the JDK, the Java Development Kit, and these are the binary files necessary to take the source code that we're going to write in DrJava and convert it into bytecode, that code that then can be interpreted by the JRE that will actually run for our users. All right, our first step is to get the Java JDK, that's the Java Development Kit, and it is the binary files necessary to take that source code we write and convert it into bytecode. Now I suggest that we get it the most direct way from the source, and that's from java.sun.com. So if you go to java.sun.com, there's no www there, we're presented with this page. At least we are on January 21st, 2010. It may look different when you go to it at a later date. In any event, you'll go to the link that is in some way indicates downloads, and we'll do that here. And what I'm presented with is a menu, and the item on the menu that I'm interested in is the Java SE, the Standard Edition. We'll click there, and we're presented with this page, or a similar page. And what we're interested in is this Java platform, the JDK. We're going to download that, or you are. I already have it downloaded, so I won't do it again, but we'll click on that link, and remember, it's the Java SE, and as you're presented with this page or similar page, select your platform, accept the terms, and download away. Now, it will put this download into the folder on your machine, on your computer. Typically it's the program files. It'll default to the program files. Take all the defaults. As you download it, just accept default, default, default. It's just the easiest way to do it. It'll be most seamless for you later on. So if you'll download that, we have the first part in our two-part process. Here we have, therefore, downloaded the JDK, the Java Development Kit. We'll then go over to DrJava, and DrJava is at www.drjava.org, and here's the home page for DrJava. This again is a free download. I won't download it, I already have, but you'll download for whatever is your operating system, and it is both available for Windows and for Macs. Again, take the defaults, and you should be all set. Now we have to download the JDK because DrJava will go and look for it. DrJava is just an IDE, and an IDE is a more user-friendly environment for us in our developing our code. We could go back and work just from the command line, but that's somewhat a long process and can be confusing, and students generally find an IDE easier to work with, at least as they are introduced to this language. If you want to work from the command line, please do. However you decide to work, be it from the command line or using DrJava or another IDE, you will have to download the JDK. So do that first. All right, having downloaded DrJava, I'm going to start it up. And it is a rather easy looking, easy on the eyes, very simple, intuitive IDE. You'll see that I have a program that I've written previously loaded here. Now, across the top we have the menus for new, open, save, close, etc., etc. And we'll look at a number of them. We don't have to look at all. What we're interested in will be the new, the open, the compile, the run, and perhaps the Java doc. Now, the IDE itself presents you here on the right with the code that you will write or you have written. Here on the left are the files that you have open. Notice that these files are, by default, .java files. You'll notice at the bottom that we have the tabs for interactions, console, and the compiler output, and we'll see how that works. Here on the right, it indicates what compiler we're using. And in this case, I'm using the JDK 6.0_17. I believe that's the most recent. Now, you'll see that where there's color coding here, that keywords show up in a blue, non-key in a black, We have different colors of blue. Notice that this is a lighter blue than this. These are keywords. This is the name of my class. You'll notice that comments are in green. You'll note that if I click on a curly bracket, in this case a divider, that I'll have a color coding of that code that is included within that curly bracket. And you'll see, in essence, the beginning and the end of that section. So if I were to click on this curly bracket, I'll see that that curly bracket opens this section that goes to this ending curly bracket. Let's begin a file for ourselves. So I'll click on New. And as I click on New, you notice that I have this untitled file. Simply means that I haven't given a name to the file. I haven't saved the file yet. You're creating a file in this IDE is very simple. I'm over here on my right side, and I will simply begin to type, and here I will have the classic public class hello world. Now you'll notice that typing is important. You'll notice that the keywords public and class are a certain color blue. I've got some color coding, and that's very helpful to me as I write my programs. And you notice that this name of my class is a little darker blue. Now as I begin my class, I will enter my curly bracket that bounds the beginning and ending of the class. Here they are, my beginning and ending curly brackets, and note the color coding. I'll have my main method. Note again the color coding as I put that ending parenthesis in, and I will bound my main method. I'll simply have it print out that classic hello world. And you'll note that the string is in red, again color coding to help me. My ending parentheses, again demarcation, and here I am. Now I've written, I believe, a valid program. I want to compile it, and in order to compile it, I'll just go up here and click on Compile. Now I have not yet saved this file, and I get this warning. I have to save it and all modified files. Do I want to do so? Yes. As I click, I'm presented with this, and you'll have either this if you're on a Mac, or a very, very similar interface if you're on a PC. It'll ask me where I want to save, and I'll be able to do so, saving, let's pick a nice place, right into here, and I'll save it. Notice that it defaults saving the file, giving it the name Hello World, which is indicated here in the file itself. That's the name I want to save this file as, and my Dr. Java defaults to that name. And I'll do so. I'll save it. And here I am. It's been saved. And notice now that on the left side, it is now not untitled, but rather hello world.java. Having compiled it, or what's happened here is I clicked to compile. I was told you have to save first. I did so, and then I immediately had that file compiled. I'll now run it. Now you'll note down at the bottom that I've got this message under compiler output, and I defaulted down here to compiler output as soon as I compiled that file. It's telling me that my compilation was complete. If I now click on Run, notice that I go over to the tab that says Interactions. My interactions are that my file ran and printed out Hello World as I had wanted it to. So as I compile something, I'll get my compilation output. As I run it, I'll get my interactions.